It is Friday, July 19th. Here's what you need to know about the weather around the country. And here's the big picture, what we're looking at. A decent jet stream starting to strengthen a little bit here across parts of Iowa, also southern Minnesota. This will be interesting to watch as we head into the afternoon because with this getting a little bit stronger, the possibility of some severe storms certainly on the table, especially as we get that differential heating going on. That pressure gradient, or I should say that thermal gradient, is going to tighten up a little bit. That could increase some of the winds. There's also going to be an ample amount of wind shear that could lead to a few tornadoes. Storm Prediction Center watching this region in specifically for some big storms to get going as we head into the afternoon and evening. Even a few of these could produce some tornadoes. This is an area to watch. We've also got to watch out here along the East Coast. You can see it actually followed all the way from Missouri along our boundary here that has just been relentless over the last couple of days, producing multiple showers and thunderstorms. Some of those have really caused some problems, and this pattern is kind of stuck, right? You got a decent upper-level subtropical ridge parked right across the southeast. Around that, just so much moisture flowing in. Into the southeast, also into parts of the Midwest, all the way into parts of the Mid-Atlantic. And that's just been creating so much rain over the last couple of days. And with this flow, we've seen these storms follow this direction. It's one of the reasons today more flood watches out for Kentucky, Virginia, West Virginia, as far north as Ohio. Also quite a few heat advisories, high heat warnings. It's going to be pretty hot across many areas as we get into this afternoon. Look at this precipitable water. We were looking at this yesterday. Another day of a tremendous amount of moisture. Look at all of this. You got these reds showing up. That's more than 2 inches of water if you were to squeeze it out of the entire atmosphere. So another moisture-rich weekend. So I think that heavy rain threat sticks around. Your severe threat heading into Saturday, speaking of the weekend, starts to kick off a little bit more to the east. We're still looking at a threat from Iowa, but now we're pushing it into Illinois, southern Wisconsin, into a good chunk of Indiana, southern Michigan, and then east into parts of central and northern Ohio. So maybe from Cincinnati, northeast up toward Columbus, north of that up towards Detroit, central Michigan, does include the Thumb area here into Michigan, and as far northeast as Erie, Pennsylvania, and into the western parts of New York. So Buffalo, I don't know if Rochester is going to quite see as much, but you get the idea of what we're looking at. And then your tornado risk heading into Saturday, starting to get a little bit more elevated here across southern Michigan, northern Indiana, northern Illinois, also into northern parts of Ohio. That's what we're going to be paying attention to heading into the weekend. Let's look at the rain across the south. We'll time this precipitation out over the next 24 to 48 hours or so. Back it up through today. We've got quite a bit of rain moving in with what's left of our tropical disturbance here, moving into Louisiana. So I think heavy rain possible again this afternoon and this evening across northern Louisiana, now into Mississippi. It's really starting to push up into this part of Mississippi, north and central Mississippi, and then also into northern Alabama. That rain continues, or at least the heavier moisture is going to start to lift north up into the Tennessee Valley. Some of that starts to push east. I think this is your core of moisture now heading into Saturday. So northern Alabama, northern Tennessee, or I should say central Tennessee. Some of these storms that form could be really rain efficient. That could cause some heavy rain. So just be aware of that. There could be some flooding here heading into the weekend. All right, let's go north now, and we've got some decent storms that will fire up. We talked about some of those this afternoon and this evening across parts of Iowa. This area right in here, southern Minnesota and Iowa, as this cluster starts to pulse up late this afternoon, maybe even into tonight. Strong damaging winds, maybe even a few tornadoes. The HRRR really holding that off until late tonight. Let's look at the NAM 3K, which I do believe, it's a little more robust heading into this afternoon. I kind of feel like it might have a better handle on how these storms are going to form. So timing it all out, there you go. So really two disturbances. This first one moving through, heading into the afternoon and evening, will likely move through parts of southern Minnesota. And then another round tonight I think is going to happen. That might move south into parts of eastern Nebraska and maybe as far south as central Iowa. It starts to fall apart as it approaches Missouri late tonight. And then look at the rain moving into the Great Lakes. There comes your setup for Saturday. As this disturbance kicks off to the east, your wind shear will be greatest here. So any thunderstorms that develop into the afternoon and evening could contain some hail, maybe some damaging winds, possibility of an isolated tornado, and then that drops off to the south. But notice, I'm going to back this up. Notice how all of this moisture right here from eastern Kentucky into West Virginia. It's all sort of being transported like this, right? Now you've got moisture moving in from the north as a front drops south. We're just going to continue to bullseye this part of the country for more heavy rain. So flooding, I think, is going to continue to be a problem heading into the weekend. Here's a look at your temperatures today. The only relief would be across the far south where we've got more clouds and rain, otherwise hot from Arkansas west up into Oklahoma into the 90s. A little bit cooler around the Great Lakes where we're in the 60s and 70s. So beautiful up here. For a wider look now, let's look at that moisture. We've talked about it here across the south, but look at Texas. Some good news here. Relatively dry, right? Maybe a few showers trying to break out a little late on Saturday, but overall, look, you can see where most of your moisture is going and your biggest storms associated with your monsoon flow back here into Colorado, New Mexico, up into parts of Wyoming, lifting north and up and over this ridge. Some of that trying to sneak in over top of it and drop in from the northeast across Missouri as we head into Saturday, but otherwise relatively dry across a good chunk of Oklahoma and Texas. Look at your temperatures today. Hot across the Lone Star State, also into Oklahoma. And we're warmer in Kansas, too. Today, we're back up into the 90s. Kansas City, mid-80s. I don't know. We may get into the upper 80s. But tomorrow, temperatures across this part of the country a little bit warmer. I do think Kansas City, you get into the 90s. Boy, look at the triple digits trying to show up here across Kansas and Oklahoma and North Texas. Hot, hot, hot. To the southeast we go. We've talked about a lot of this precipitation, but look how dry it is across Georgia, South Carolina. Quite a bit of sinking air here. It's going to be tough to get the storms going here. So if you're looking for some dry conditions, I think those will persist across this part of the southeast. There comes more storms. You can see them rotating around. It's like a broken record. We continue to see the storms across Virginia, North Carolina, West Virginia, and then there comes more showers and storms heading into Sunday, at least Sunday morning. This complex may bring another round, dropping in from the northwest across parts of West Virginia and Maryland. There's a look at your temperatures today, at least this afternoon across the southeast. Another hot one. Tonight, not cooling off very much. Tomorrow, it's a broken record. Hot, relatively dry across, look at Georgia, across Georgia. We may get into the upper 90s. Hot weather. Further to the north and east we go now. Look at the dry conditions, cool conditions here. And if you think it's cool now, we talked about some of this yesterday. It's going to get really cool as we head into next week. A few showers may try to sneak into parts of southern New England, parts of New Jersey, southern New York, Long Island region. Maybe a few showers here, but the bulk of rain starts to move in as we head into Sunday across this part of the country. So from Buffalo, Rochester, Watertown, north up to Vermont, New Hampshire, up into the Green and White Mountains. Showers here. And speaking of the Green and White Mountains, also up into Maine. Not only are we going to see rain, once this pushes through, it's going to really cool down. Temperatures today, much cooler across the northeast, 60s and 70s, even into Saturday morning. That's a cool start for some areas. Nice sleeping conditions here. Some of you waking up into the 50s and, I don't know, maybe 40s up into the highest elevations. I'm going to push this really far out in time because look what happens when the next front moves through. This would be Tuesday morning, right there. Look at that. Some of you waking up close to 50. So maybe Binghamton over to, I don't know, possibly up into the Adirondacks, the Catskills, Green and White Mountains. Some of those higher elevation valleys may drop well into the 40s. So some cool air into the northeast. Let's go west. Storms continue across the Intermountain West, especially into the southwest as this monsoon flow continues to wrap up and over this ridge of high pressure and then get caught in the westerly. So more showers and storms. Some of them could contain some heavy rain again across parts of New Mexico, Arizona. Heading into the weekend, the rain chance is starting to go down a little bit, and it will be another hot day across the far southwest, even the Central Valley, well into the 100s. A little bit cooler across the Pacific Northwest into some of the mountains, highs back into the 80s anyway. Even Boise closer to 90, say, but we do start to warm back up. We stay relatively cool, though, across the Pacific Northwest. A front moves through. That will drop our temperatures down some, but the Great Basin continues to bake. No relief to that summer heat here. All right, that's all I got in this video, guys. If you're a new viewer, I hope you'll consider coming back and subscribing. If you've been seeing these videos over and over, hope to see you again soon. Have a great one.